There's an extremely unusual pattern that I've seen in the E-minis. In August, it's happened 100% of the time. And I want to show you how this pattern works. One of the things I've noticed is that if the market gaps up, it goes up. If it gaps down, it goes down. It gaps up, it goes up. Gaps up, it goes up. And then to an extent, if gaps up, goes up. Gaps down, it goes down. Gaps up, it goes up. And so this happens over and over and over again in August. I've never seen anything like it. It just stood out to me as I watched the price action. And I get a lot of questions. How do I develop strategy? So I'm going to take this time to show you how I develop strategy. I spend a lot of time watching the market. And when I do that, it helps me know what to test. And this will answer your questions on how do I optimize, how do I develop strategies. I develop strategies on patterns that I see, repeating patterns that I see. And so I'm going to create this strategy, and I'm going to call it Test Gap Open August. Alright, and so this is what you get. This is a Tradestation integrated development environment. And the data we're looking at is the day session only. You see this vertical line right here? That represents the beginning of the day session. At 9:31 is the first bar. It opens at, these are 1 minute bars, so it opens at 9:30. The timestamp is when the bar ends, and then the last bar is 16:15. The computer is set to Eastern Standard Time. So this is how you develop this strategy. This is the template. I created a new strategy. I'm going to delete everything here. And I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. So if time equals 16:15, which is the last bar of the day, if your computer is on Central Standard Time, that'll be 15:15. If it's on Pacific Standard Time, it'll be 13:15. And open of next bar is greater than the close of this bar, then buy next bar at the market. And if time equals 16:15 and open of next bar is less than the close of this bar, then sell short next bar at market. Now I'm going to give this some room and take a quick profit. So set stop loss $500 per contract, set profit target 200, and we're going to say set exit on close for now, just for back testing purposes. Quick way to code this. So I've coded this up really quick, about a minute or two, just to test this idea of this pattern that I've seen. And when you look at this, is there really anything here that you can optimize? Now you could optimize a stop loss and profit target, but this is just based on a pattern I've seen. And so let's take a look at this pattern. I'm going to compile this. I click verify. There's no errors. So I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to insert this strategy in Tradestation. So I'm going to go insert strategy, and I'm going to go test open gap open test gap open August right here. I have a lot of test strategies, and I'm just going to use the defaults. I'm not using slippage and commission right now. I'm just testing this really quickly just to see what it looks like. And this strategy happened 100% of the time in August. Here is July 31st, 100% win rate in August. 80% since the beginning of summer. So all summer long, this market gap up, it go up, gap down, it goes down, pretty much. Low drawdown for an ES strategy. Here's the performance summary. Here it is again. Let's look at the other months. So it was down in July, and then 85% again in June. May, there was not that many trades, and so this strategy looks amazing in August. And so these are the type of strategies that I look at, and then I backtest them further. So I say, how does this pattern works? I was accurate in saying, wow, this market seems really strange in that every time it opens, gap up, it goes up, and gap down, it goes down. and I've just never seen anything like it. So I thought, well, let's run the test and see how true that is. And so we programmed this code in, and then we tested it, and then we say, so is this worth trading? Is this worth trading? It only, on a 3-month back test, it meets our criteria. The average trade profit is high enough, $65. How does this look over the last 3 years? Now let's take a look at this over the last 3 years. So, better than I thought, actually. The average trade profit is not high enough in its current format, but interesting to see how there are times when it does really good, and times it does really bad, and then times it does really good, and then really bad, and then really good. This is, just looking at this graph, this is as good as it's ever done. There's a period back here. I guess, look, this is August of 2016. Where it did really well. So let's take a look at August. Let's do the monthly. January, June, and August. It has a tendency to do that the most. If you just look at this setup right here. Let's test it back some more years. Let's go back 7 years and see what this looks like. So over a longer time period, it kind of mean reverts and washes out, and it's not a great pattern, although it does look like it's worked since 9/18/2015. This is when the Fed started raising interest rates again off of zero, is the fall of 2018. So let's look at it from 9/18/2015 and see what the average trade profit looks like. You can see there's time periods where it does really well, and then we're in one of those time periods, and you have to wonder sometimes if these time periods, well, will be the new normal, or if it's just a short-term deviation. My experience with these patterns is they're short-term deviations. I've tried to find emerging patterns, and oftentimes they don't work. I like to have a little bit better pattern, a little bit better statistics in this, going back 7 years, 5 to 7 years. And so pretty good for a strategy that, well, 4-year back test, pretty good for something so simple. This could probably be improved. Let's look at the monthly returns again. Once again, in August and June, it does well. So in June and August and January, this appears to be a great strategy to trade. Other months, not so much. And so let's go in and look at why it does that. So there are time periods here. You see a run-up of $8,000, and then this nice streak right here, and then definitely a nice streak right here. Let's see if there's ever been another 100% month. In this back test, in this window, August so far is the only 100% month. The second highest I see, there's 85%. 85.71%. Here's a 90% month in January 2017. So yeah, so this is unusual, very, very, very unusual to see something do this well. So I wanted to point that out. That's how I develop strategies. I watch things and I think, wow, this is unusual to see all the gap downs go straight down at the open, and all the gap ups to go straight up at the open. And lo and behold, it's definitely happening more so in August than it's ever happened that I can tell in the history of the E-mini S&P. I haven't looked at every data point. We've only gone back 7 years in this test, but this is how I develop strategies, and there's nothing really to optimize except the stop loss or profit target. These numbers are based on what I use on gap fills. Just take a quick profit, and then the $500 stop loss gives it some room. So, and then the set exit on close, you can't automate that. You have to, set up the time frame to set 1 minute before the close. So that's the automation. That's the strategy development session that I wanted to share with you, and how this works in Tradestation, how you backtest a strategy in Tradestation. Now, if you want a strategy, more strategy that show this strategy development and open code strategies for Tradestation, NinjaTrader, and MultiCharts, I encourage you to go to 7tradingsystems.com and fill out this form, and you'll get Chapter 3, and you'll learn how to get access to the members area. There's a free section in the members area for this strategy, so you can look at a strategy that's even better than what we just developed, and you have the opportunity to learn more about how to develop automated trading systems for your own trading at this site.